He's a culinary detective, a champion of local eats, and a man who's tasted more Texas tacos than most of us could dream of. From hidden gems to iconic spots, he's the voice behind one of the biggest food shows in the South. And he's here right now. Consider this your official invite to the tastiest episode yet.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team in.
The Mo Money Podcast empowers entrepreneurs and business owners with real insights from industry leaders who've turned challenges into success. Whether you're building a business or breaking free from 9 to 5, our mission is to fuel your growth with expert knowledge, inspiring stories, and actionable strategies. Welcome to the Mo Money Podcast. Hi, guys. I just wanted to introduce you to a new podcast. I know it's been a little while, but we're back. We're excited. We have a special guest with you. I'm pretty sure if you recognize this guy, you've seen him pretty much everywhere. One of the San Antonio's greatest food critics, I can say. David Elder in the house.
What's up? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to break all your stuff.
You're good.
Can I eat this too? Or
No. That's
No,
not unfortunately, man. You don't want to bite that. So sorry, but you just
trying.
it just wouldn't taste right. So yeah, I'm sure the guy that's behind the camera would not appreciate it.
They would not appreciate it. No, Mike. But thank you for having me. I know. I really appreciate it. Love coming into creepy little podcast caves and talking. So this is great. It's a good opportunity.
Yeah. Sorry, I know it's kind of dark in here, but we try to make it romantic as possible.
Good.
Kind of soothing, right? Got the AC going, nice and nice. Feels cool. Yeah. So if it gets hot, let us know. We'll turn it down. If it gets spicy.
I don't know, man. You tell me. I don't know what's in that bag. I got something about it.
Yeah, man. I had to do this because I just felt that we've got to got to eat something because that's what you do for a living, right? I mean, you
want to make me feel like I'm at home.
Yeah. You go to places and you get to see what they have. So
Hey,
this is the good stuff, right? Of course, with our background,
Goncha.
yeah, with pan dulce, we got pan de huevo, right? We got an empanada that you can try.
Hey,
I'm
for the pineapple.
Yeah, I got me one too because
Because why not?
I want to be like you, I want to be the same, I want to.
I could show you. I could show you the technique of how to do it.
How does this work?
How to eat it.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You want to learn?
Here, let me get you a little now.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah. I don't ever use these.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife gets mad. I just rub it on my pants.
So what do we do? So this is the empanada.
This is the empanada. And what is the bakery?
So this is from Guanajuato Bakery. This is a little hole-in-the-wall shop on the far west side of town. It's off of Culebra by 1604. I'm not sure because I know you've been everywhere.
I've not been there.
All right, so this is so small.
This is new to me.
This is great. All right, so hopefully this will be a shout out to Guanajuato. So we'll let them know that hey, we've had the opportunity.
So first things first is the camera eats first. That's the number one rule. I would say you always open towards the camera. See, you didn't see it. You didn't do it.
I failed.
You failed. All right, man. So you always open towards the camera. You got to show the camera.
All right.
If you got any goo, any drippies, you got to show the camera. You got to kind of push it out. Look at that. See, that's looking good already.
Yeah, it does.
All right. And then now you got to take a big enough bite where people are like, yeah, that's a good bite. And not small where people are like, oh, you didn't even try it, right? So it's like a middle bite. So you got
Okay. That's fantastic. Sure is. Really good.
Now we got to break it down. You ready?
Okay.
So you're going to say flake the exterior. You have a nice creamy texture on the inside of the pastry. You have the gelatinous inside. It is a great sweetness on there. You have a little bit more of the meat of the pineapple, so you're getting some of those more rustic textures, right? And it's good pineapple forward flavor, but you're really getting the accent of the sugar and sweet and that flaky, buttery crust. It's a great bite. That's a wonderful bite.
Not bad, right?
See how we do that?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. That's simple. Yeah, I can see myself missing this up. How many times do you edit that? I gotta know. You gotta at least edit it. You're not rolling, right? You're editing.
Well, usually we try to edit minimal editing. We try to do look lives.
Like today. I mean, we got zero editing going on, man. So you miss out, brother. It is what it is. People are gonna know who David Elder is.
That's good. Yeah. No, so I've done a lot of live television, and that's really helped me figure out what to do with like a pre-recorded TV show. Because when you get editing, I edit the show as well. I edit the social media, and it's another gentleman with me who does a bulk of the editing. I step in when I need to, but you find out that you don't want to mess up. because that makes the editing process that much harder.
True.
So you don't want to mess up. So try to do it as a look live. And if you do mess up, you got to roll with it.
Got it.
That's a big part of it. If you mess up, it's not how you mess up, it's how you move forward. That makes it better.
Awesome.
That's a life lesson.
That's it. Number one. That never was free, by the way. No more freebies, man.
No more freebies. Exactly.
So moving on to this stuff. This can get messy, right?
This is a messy one.
Yeah, that Fonduel was very messy.
I'm giving a nice little space in here, so I'm going to try to be a gentleman. This one, too.
So
You want to know this one?
Yeah.
All right, so it's going to its fingers in the bottom like this.
Okay.
And then your thumb at the top. And then when you rip it, you'll get a perfect break down the middle. And then you can Pac-Man it. And you show the camera inside. Look,
This ain't gonna happen to me. I'm gonna make a mess.
I know, it's already too messy, though.
You know, wonder why you try wiping your hands on your pen.
This is also a good one here. You always have to have a cheers.
Cheers.
That's the bite. See, you got to have a tag
Like
That's the bite.
All right, here we go. Okay, we're gonna leave the plate. That's smart, but
Mm-hmm.
all right.
And that one, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Real airy, nice puff, good crumb on the inside. You can see it's a nice little pillow. And then on the top, this is actually really tender. It's really good. Slight chocolate, but really more of a vanilla flavor. It's good. It's very good.
Sorry, man. I don't have no milk.
I had to bring my own drink. I can't hear it.
Water, man.
Oh, my. I can't be drinking water with breakfast.
I know, right? I didn't think that through.
You're an animal.
God dang it. Well, you know what? Well,
Not even orange drinkers, bro.
that Fonduel gets stuck.
But the branding's on point, though.
Oh, yeah. What does it say on there? Never knew what it said.
What is it? I don't know.
Awesome.
Who did that?
Well, that was cool.
Well, thank you. Here you go.
All right.
We're done. We're done, right?
We're done. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. No. So that's just a piece of what David Elder does for a living, guys. If you don't understand how it works, that's what he does.
That's what we do.
And the cool part about it is that he gets to go everywhere and anywhere and eat all day. So that sucks. But I'm sure we, we'll talk about the journey, right? So David Elder, I just know a little bit about you. So I didn't get to really get to know more about you. Unfortunately, I know we just got to chat a little bit. Yeah. But I'm sure digging back, growing up as a kid, I'm assuming I heard that you're born in Japan. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So how's your Japanese? Got it.
Go
so, I'm a say, right? Yeah. Now, were you a foodie? Always, or did you want to be a TV star? Did you want to be a foodie? How did it all work out?
I went, you know what? I don't know if like a foodie or anything like that was necessary. I feel like every kid
had a dream.
Had a dream, sure. Every kid has a dream. And my dreams always just were like, before I dream, let me take a bite of something real quick. You know what I mean? I've always just really enjoyed desserts. I love sweets. And you brought this. I'm just saying, I've always really loved desserts. And so growing up, I always liked exploring different ways to get a box dessert that you'd get from the store and manipulating it into something even crazier. I've always been very creative within the food realm. I've always wanted to do something different. And then on the menu, my parents would always say, you know how to like upcharge. I always know when I was a kid, I'd be like, we'd be ordering, everybody's ordering at the table. It comes to me. I'm like, oh, what's your catch of the day? And they'd be like, well, no. I'm like 6. They're like, no, you don't need to know the catch of the day. I'm always very interested in expensive food. Why is it expensive? Like, what makes it good? Like, what makes that different than this $5 thing right here?
True.
Very curious. And, getting to have a really cool upbringing, getting to explore different parts of the world and getting to travel and getting to do things. I was exposed to a lot of different kinds of food at a young age. So it always kept me really curious. I loved sushi when I was like 6, 7. So that was always something that's just a palate development at a young age of wanting to try different things. So yeah, I guess, yeah. That's foodie. in air quotes,
right.
Foodie, yeah. And now TV star, I don't know how deep down this rabbit hole you want to get right now, but I have always wanted to be on TV.
Okay.
I have. And when I was in high school, I was out here. So I'm a military brat, both parents Air Force, born on a military base in Japan. Both parents stationed at Edwards Air Force Base in Southern California. And then my dad got a job at Fort Sam. That's why I'm here.
Got it.
And I was a sophomore in high school when we moved out here. and I really wanted to be on TV. And I didn't know how to do it. And I'm going to tell you, my wife knows this, so it's not like a secret that she will just be revealed to her right now. I wanted to go on the Disney Channel because I had a crush on Lindsay Lohan. I'm going to say right now. Come on. I mean, that was 2003, 2004, Lindsay Lohan. I was like, that'd be really cool to meet her if I was able to get on TV. And so I ended up always wanted to, I felt like I could do it. I could be on TV. I could do this.
You want to be like Zac Efron?
I wanted to be Zac Efron, sure. And I went, it didn't work out. Of the food world, obviously. I went to one of those be a Disney star auditions at the like hotels around here. And I went to 2 of them in high school. The first one, I made it to the final 3 kids out of like 80-something kids.
That's awesome.
And they sat you in a room, right? And then they turn off all the lights. They got the screen up there, and they show you a clip, a trailer of all the kids that they've made superstars in Hollywood, right? And they're like, turn the lights back on. They come up to you. I mean, God, what a sales pitch, right? You're just, man, you're in it. As a kid, you're like, oh, that's me. I'm the next star. Yeah. Let's do it. And they're like, for a simple $5,000 upfront investment right now, we can get you in Hollywood with a SAG card, and we can get you. And I was like, come on, parents, pay. Let's do it. My parents were like, no. And then we would leave, and they would look at me and be like, if they really liked you, they would pay for it. And I was like, oh. I was like, so then we went to another one. And again, I was the last 2 kids this time.
Wow.
And every time that I went to these things, they did tell me, they said, you can read really well. And I don't know what that meant at that time. I was like, thank you. I don't know. Yeah, I went to school. I don't know. But as I've now become a professional in this, I now understand what that means. But at the time, I didn't understand. And they liked me enough to pick me to be the last kid in those 2 situations, but it didn't become anything. And I always was like, oh, my dreams are gone. I'll never be on TV. But
there you are.
Little did we know.
Toby Keith had a song about that. He says, something about him being on the radio, right? There he is. I think he wrote a song about him being on the radio. Now you're listening to me on the radio. So I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah. Hey, your opportunity came to life. That's awesome. So,
pursue your dreams, kids.
That's right. Stay in school.
Second life lesson, right? Yeah, there you go.
You got him away today, man.
I actually have a whole list. I guess I left it at home. Huh?
You're on a road today.
Yeah.
So we saw you're an award-winning graphic designer as well, right? So you can walk us through the journey that led you into media. What were some of the key turning points?
First thing I did to become an award-winning graphic designer was doodle while I was supposed to be taking notes in high school. That was a big thing. Doodle. And I loved drawing. I loved drawing. I was always drawing when I was a kid. I loved painting and drawing. And so when I was exiting high school, I had no idea what I was going to do. Both parents were military, right? So they looked at me like, hey, go join the military. You'll get free health insurance. You get to travel the world and everything's covered. Yeah, you get free college. And so I took the ASVAB and everything. You know what I mean? Have you ever gone through that process?
I was, so yeah, a little background. I mean, I was like this close to joining the Marines in high school. So I did all the tests.
Yeah.
And then when I was like going to sign, my mom said, no, you're not. I mean, well, because you're the baby of the family, so you're not going nowhere. So
what did they tell you after you did your test? You could do anything in the military, right? They always tell you that. You take the test. I mean, you probably bombed it or I bombed it. I don't know. But they're always like, you could be a scientist in the military. I'm like, oh, again, right? You're fed these kind of dreams. And you're like, oh, man, I don't know. Maybe I could do that. I don't know. And then you find out that I don't know. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. Honestly, I didn't really have any direction of, neither one of my parents went to a 4-year university straight out of high school. They had the military experience. So they weren't really there to provide that part of like life. Like we don't really know what that's like.
Yeah.
So I went to SAC. And when I was at San Antonio College, I wanted to be an electrical engineer. Mm-hmm. And because math always came easy to me. Yeah. So I was like, I could do math. And then I did a semester of basics. And then after my first semester, second semester, I did some early like engineering courses. And I was like, oh no. I was like, never mind. No, thank you. I was like, I like numbers, but not that much. You know what I mean? So I went into, I played band ever since about second, third grade. I picked up a trumpet. I really enjoyed it. The next year I picked up an alto sax. It was game over. So I actually played alto sax at school from about fourth grade all the way to my senior year.
Awesome.
And
I'm for Kenny G. That's cool.
yeah, little Kenny G. And I actually, with that one, when I came out here to Texas, I got to march in state for Canyon. And yeah, it was a cool experience. It was at the Alamo Dome. We did get 8th place. But it's okay. Hey, it was okay. 8th in the state. We'll take it, baby. That was
good.
4A.
Texas is huge, by the way.
Yeah. And at the time, I think Canyon's like 5 or 6A now or something crazy. They were 4A at the time. And New Braunfels High School beat us, though. They got like 6th or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And so they were, man.
So you
see that? I was like, come on.
You're not a Unicorn fan, by the way?
Nah, saw it off, baby. And so I've also was very musically inclined my whole life. I enjoyed music. And so I thought I'd go into music production. So I actually interned here in San Antonio at Symmetric Sounds Productions with Danny Patino. Shout out Danny. At the Jalapeno downtown. And for a 6-month internship. And he showed me how to record live audio, live music, analog, and push it into a digital system using Pro Tools. And so I learned how to use Pro Tools. And then after I really got into it, I had a class. It was a music appreciation course. And this teacher was like asking everybody, what do you want to do when you get older? What do you want to do? And she came to me and I was like, well, I want to be a music producer. I want to produce music. And she left. Don't be a bad teacher. Uplift your students. And I'm free. And she was just like, oh, everybody can do that at home now. That's not even a career anymore. You don't have to have a studio. You can do it at home. So that's a bad career choice. I was like, man, dreams crushed dreams. But then I realized, I looked down when I was in her class, and what was I doing still? I was doodling. So I was like, you know what? Maybe there's something in this. I could do something with this doodling. And I pursued a graphics course. And I was like, oh, I like this. I enjoy this. And I was actually going to go the fine arts route. And then I was in drawing too. And the instructor was like, I'll let you all know right now. I'm glad you're here. If fine arts is your passion, that's great. You're not going to make any money doing this. I'm going to be real with you. I appreciated that. The professor was very honest about that. So he then said, if you're looking to make money from this, graphic design is a career which you can be an artist and make money. And I was like, oh, good to know. Went that route. All the technology stuff that I loved, the numbers that I loved, and all the doodling and the creativity. I was like, this is exactly what I was supposed to do. This is
The stars aligned.
Yeah. And so I ended up getting an associate's degree in graphic design and an associate's degree in web design. So I understood that that's something that I was passionate in and that I wanted to do. And then I got an internship right out of SAT to go work at Michael Imber Architects. Shout out Michael Imber. And he gave me an opportunity to intern at his office. He's a classical architect. I mean, I'm going to say he's the best one in the United States. He's the best one.
Nice.
And at the time, I was always told he was the top 3 in the United States.
Wow.
So, I mean, there were students that would graduate from Notre Dame University with degrees in architecture, and they would like just drool over the opportunity to go work with Michael Imber. So this is a big time office that we have here in San Antonio. This guy's awesome. Super creative, little like a genius in the architecture world. So he saw my work. I applied for the internship, and I got to work there. So I was an intern there when I actually started at UTSA for marketing. Okay. And so I was a pre-business major at UTSA, and I was working as an intern. And I was going to leave, actually. I was going to move back to California because that's where my brother was still at. I have an older brother. And I was going to go move back over there with him and live in LA and try to see if I could do graphic design in LA. And I was about to leave, and then Michael Imber was like, we want to offer you a full-time job.
Wow.
I want you to stay.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's see what happens. And so I stayed. And you know what? The next month, my now wife started at Michael Imber. She graduated from TCU.
Awesome.
And she started in the front office there at Michael Imber's. We met, fireworks, everything. And then we started dating. We weren't supposed to. We started dating because there was no dating in the office.
Okay. We could say that.
A little scandalous.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a kid now. It's fine. Yeah, so we started dating. But so I stayed here. I stayed at Michael Imber's, and I was my official job title was a marketing coordinator for Michael Imber Architects, this wonderful architecture firm. I'm at UTSA. I was like, oh, I guess this is what I'm supposed to do. Marketing, graphic, web design, it all just worked out. Ended up staying there for just shy of 2 years. I loved it. It was a great experience. And then I went to Boss Creative, and I was a front-end UI UX designer developer with them for websites.
Cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what that means, but Jay does, because that's what Jay does.
Jay knows. What's up, Jay? Basically, I made sure that when you're browsing through a website that we designed, it's really easy to use.
Got it.
Yeah.
Friendly user.
Friendly.
Got it.
Yeah. And that's it. UI UX is the user interface, user experience.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Now you know.
Cool.
See?
Learn something new every day. That's right.
And so I had that opportunity. And when I was at UTSA, I was like, I feel like everything was just like lining up for me. It just all made sense. And I liked Boss Creative, but I felt like there was maybe something more. I realized on the sales side, because it was a big part of this was client. Like you had to get the client in the room. You had to sell them your design.
Mm-hmm.
And the owner wasn't always there to do this. So the pitch had to come from me. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I think I can do this. Did all that. And I was like, I think I can sell stuff. I can lead a team. I can do more. KSAT had an opportunity for a graphics coordinator position, and they needed 3D animation experience, which I had. So I applied for that job. And so I was only at Boss Creative for a year. And then I went to over there at KSAT. And that's how I got my foot in the door over there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then you, of course, had to go on camera to become who you are today, right? Unfortunately, right? You just camera, right? So do you remember your first experience being on camera? What was going through your mind?
Yes, I do. So I saw people doing it, and I was like, I can be on camera. I can do this. And all of a sudden, that little Disney star bug was itching again. It was like, all right, I want to be on TV again. I could do this. And so I actually went to the news director's office, Bernice, and she was, you know what? She handled it very kindly. She could have been very abrasive, and she wasn't. And I said, Bernice, I want to be a journalist. I want to do the news. I can do it. I want to be a reporter. I was there for like 6 months, and I was a graphic designer behind, like, not only behind the camera, behind the camera. Like I was basically chilling in the darkness.
There you go.
And she looked at me like, what? Yeah, I'm sorry. What? Very sweet, very sweet. She was just like, you will not be on my news. And I was like, oh. She was like, if you want to apply to be on the news, she was like, you can go to a smaller market. You can work there for 3 years, and then you could build up a portfolio, build up a reel, submit your reel, and then we will review it and see if we will hire you to be a reporter. Dreams crushed again.
Wow.
3 years.
Come on, Bernice.
So I'm back to my desk. I was like, come on. And then 2 weeks later, the executive producer of SA Live came up to me, and she said, it was Katie, and she was like, little birdie told me you want to be on TV. I was like, I do. She's like, all right, we have an audition process. You can audition right now to be on TV. I was like, let's do it.
There you go.
First, number one audition, they got the two hosts of SA Live, which at the time,
Michael
Fiona and Jeff Roper.
Oh, she was before Mike. Okay.
Yeah. So Jeff Roper was before Mike. Jeff Roper and Fiona actually started the show.
Got it.
And so it was 2015, and I walked up to their stage. They had just finished a live show, and I went out there, and they said, all right, we're going to punch up live, and they're going to grill you live.
Wow.
And they're going to see how you respond in a live element to see how you would do on live TV. Oh, okay. I kind of knew them, but I didn't really know them.
Yeah.
It was a little awkward. I only knew Katie. I didn't really know everybody else. And so I went out there, and they were just throwing like all these curveballs at me, just like, how's he going to react? How's he going to react? And you know what? I did it all. I did everything. He was like, Jeff Roper, if you ever look up Jeff Roper, shout out Jeff. This is how he talks. He actually, everybody always thought he was like laying it on thick. It's just how he talks, but it's kind of like a Johnny Bravo, Elvis kind of Southern version of those two guys blended together. He's like, hey, David, I'm going to throw this thing at you right here. And he was like, hey, man, I heard you getting engaged. And I was like, oh, I am. And he was like, let me see, how are you going to propose to your wife? What is that going to be like?
Wow.
He made me do it as a part of the audition. Get down on my knee, look at the camera. He goes, all right, the camera is your wife. Propose to the camera right now. What are you going to say? I did it. Wow, I did it. I didn't know what they were going to make me do. And so that was my first experience on camera. And I did it, got to the next round, and then it was easy breezy because it was stuff I know how to do. It was all that editing. I'm Adobe certified through the program that I was with. And so I was like, I could do all the editing. So I filmed packages. I used Premiere. I edited everything together. I submitted it. They loved it. I got the job.
Nice.
Yeah.
And all this history.
And that was the start of my TV journey right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, and then of course, how did food come involved in this, right? Because I mean,
What is this tequila? What is this?
Oh, wait.
Take a sip real quick.
Yeah, it's Juanitos.
Yeah. So here we go. Chapter 20 of the book right here that I'm writing, right? So at this point it was, now you're on TV. Now you have to do like 3 to 5 stories a week. Every day. So right, whatever day you're on, they have to be 3.5 minutes long. You have to edit, shoot, produce, and host all these all on your own. Good luck. Oh, okay. Dude, I was losing hair. I was so stressed out. But through these other jobs, I made a lot of connections with nonprofit organizations that I worked with. And so I was reaching out to them. Those were my connections. I was like, let me go do uplifting stories about wounded warrior programs because that's what I feel passionate about. Let me go talk to these programs that are helping families with money or any issues that they were having. And I wanted to tell those stories because they meant something to me. It resonated with me. And I'd put all this work and energy and everything behind them, and they'd get like 800 views on social media.
That's awesome.
600 views. It was something.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I wanted to go viral, right? I was like, that's 2016, baby. I'm trying to blow up on YouTube, right? And so actually, shout out my wife.
Of course.
We were dating at the time, but her boss was going through an MBA program at UTSA. And she was like, hey, a buddy of mine who's going through the MBA program with me is opening up a restaurant. Do you think your husband or your boyfriend can put him on TV? And she was like, I can ask him. I don't know. Well, it was Caesar's of Beda, and he was opening Sangria on the Berg off Fredericksburg Road, what a great restaurant. And so they reached out, they connected with me, and I was like, cool, this works out. Background on the food game, my first job was Bill Miller's. I was 15. I wanted money in my pocket. I went and worked at Bill Miller's. I worked there all through high school. And so I worked there for 3 years, sophomore, junior, senior year. And I learned everything. I started as a busboy and I became a line cook. I worked the window and I really enjoyed that space. And then when I was in college, I also worked at the Vineyards restaurant. And the Vineyards restaurant is a high-end restaurant. They actually won a lot of awards at the time for appetizers, best date night spot and stuff like that in the area. And it was fine dining. And I worked back of house over there. So I was actually a cold side prep cook for about a year, saute cook for about a year. And then I worked the grill, and we would do weddings on the weekends. And then I would also do service Monday through Friday. So I learned how to cook in a high-end environment with the structured hierarchy, kitchen, sous chef, executive chef, owner. And I was put through it. So I actually learned how to really cook. And then I also have the fast casual space of working through Bill Miller's.
Awesome.
Never thought it'd come back to help me at any point in my life. Okay. And I also found out that the servers make a lot of money. So I started working as a server at the Vineyards restaurant. And, I was like, oh, this is where the money's at. So learning how to sell food, talk about food. And I also know how to make the food. So that was really helpful because I can walk through the process of that, knowing what it takes to get to this end result. And so when I'd go to the tables and I'd sell to them, they loved it. I was like, oh, okay, great. So this is kind of a cool thing. This will never help me in my future. And so I went to Fredericks. I went to Sangria on the Berg. I did a story. I'm talking to Caesar. And we just talked for a little bit. And he's like, you work in restaurants? And I was like, yeah. He was like, cool. And because we were talking shop, I could actually work with him and talk about what we were looking at, what we were doing, and what the process was of everything. And it made him very comfortable when we were able to put the video out. In 24 hours, that video got 90,000 views.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, 90,000. And I was like, ooh, oh, I got something here. KSAT was like, it's a fluke. Don't think it's going to happen again, right? And very lovely people. And also very, very, very cautious people.
Right. Yeah.
Next week, I went to Grumpy's Mexican Cafe.
Got it.
Love Grumpy's.
Yeah, it's been there. It's good.
It's good. 150,000 views in one day. One day,
Double.
24-hour period.
Almost double.
Almost double. And I found out, then I was like, I think I got something. People really enjoy these food videos.
Yeah.
And they enjoy me eating the food.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
History was made. That's when it all clicked. That was the moment everything became like, so the graphic design, my wife came up with the name actually, Elder Eats. My wife did that.
Wait, oh, Mallory.
I know, Mallory's amazing. And she came up with the name. I designed the logo. So there's that graphic design coming in, right?
Yeah.
That marketing coordination background from the web or from Michael Ibbers, that came into play because we actually used to have calls with Facebook to find out what's best practices and that was back when like, this is 2012, 2013. This is when Facebook still had like hello, they would like still call you. They don't do that anymore. They're too busy now.
So emails.
But you can actually like schedule calls and they would have a call with you. And so I learned best practices, what to do, what not to do on social media. And I took that with me and I evolved that and I used that information to help build all the stuff that I have now to help build that algorithm. So, and then the food and the passion to be healthy, everything just came together, bam, into one thing. And it all just worked out.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
And now we got Texas Eats.
Hey.
Texas Eats. Awesome. So what does a typical production week look like behind the scenes? I know you're driving around on a truck all day, just trying to figure out what's going to happen for the day, right? Choosing what restaurants to choose from. Walk us through that. How does that work?
So a normal week is balance of meetings where we're actually talking about what's going to be on the show. Meetings. It's like your life is like 50% meetings, right? So there's a balance of the meeting and then there's a balance of execution. So it's that development and then execution. And a large part of what we do is also sales. So you have to balance the sales aspect of that as well. And those sales meetings also lead to sales execution. You have to go execute and then you have to not only film it, you got to publish it. And then you have to follow through and provide analytics for it and have follow-up meetings about those meetings to talk about more meetings. And it's a lot of meetings. I was like, when are we going to be done a meeting? It'll never be done. But through all of that, you also have to sit there and find time to do the research, read. I mean, Texas Monthly is a great resource. I love what they do. They're wonderful writers. Our local newspaper does a great job, Express News. And there's also staying on what the trend is nationally, and then also finding out what's happening in like Japan is a huge foodie area, China is a huge foodie area, seeing what they're doing on social media, and then finding out what's going on, in London, shout out, and, seeing what's happening across the pond. What are they doing over there? What's interesting over there? And then seeing how that trickles into the United States. Is it in New York first? Is it in California? When is it coming to us? Usually it takes a long time to get to Texas.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of staying abreast of what's happening in the food world. And that is actually like a day in itself. So you're doing the research. It's like a research day. And then we go out. We find restaurants that are doing things that are trending. We find new restaurants. We find restaurants that are award-winning. We have the Michelin Guide in Texas now. So going to those restaurants, James Beard restaurants, award-winning spots, and trying to find hidden gems. And then that takes a day. So sales is a day, just having the meetings. Research is a day, just finding out what to do. 2 of those days are actually going out and filming for the show.
And then you got all the editing and stuff.
And then it's editing. And then it's a beast workload because it's only 2 of us.
You got 3.5 minutes.
And well, now our show, our hour-long show is 39 minutes of runtime and then 21 minutes of commercial time.
Wow.
So we have to 2 people put together 39 minutes of runtime. Our show airs at 10 a.m. Saturday, 11 p.m. Saturday, and now we actually have a Sunday show as well as a 30-minute show. So we have to put together a 1-hour show that runs in those 2 time slots plus a 30-minute show that runs Sunday night. and 2 people. And we do all this stuff. This is a normal week. And then, so that's a normal week. And then you sprinkle in a fiesta. And then you're like, oh, by the way, David, we need you here, and here. But you also need to go and do your normal job and do that too. And it keeps you busy, keeps you on your toes. And that's just the TV show. And there's this wonderful beast called social media.
That's right.
That you also have to feed the beast at the same time. And there's not enough time in a workday to do all of this. So I actually end up having to do a lot of this when I shout out now.
That's right.
That's right. Mama holds down the house.
That's right.
And so it's just, it eats up, pun intended, my time. It does. It really does. And you have to remain passionate about this, or else it just feels like it's soul sucking. You have to be passionate. And I really do love what I do. I'm gonna share this right now. I went to a restaurant. I've been really into fried chicken lately.
I saw that. I've been watching, man. You make me starve every day, bro.
And so I went to a restaurant called Snow Island, which is a hidden gem, East Side soul food restaurant. Best fried chicken in the Alamo City. I'm going to go on record with that here. I want record on the video, record here. Go try and tell me otherwise.
And you know, Nathan, our producer right there, Nathan, so he loves mac and cheese. So when you said this is the best mac and cheese, now he's like, where's this place at? Oh,
yeah, you got to go try it. Mac and cheese. Oh, my goodness. And the greens. Oh, my. Okay, check this out. Okay. This is what I do for.
It's sold out. There's people all the way down the street. Like, we stay in a plate. It's taking the elders' phone, Texas Eats, 41.
That's what we do it for him. That's a video of a follower tagging me saying, There's a 2-hour wait, line all the way down the street. We just posted this video like 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
There's line all the way down the street, 2-hour wait. They got sold out.
It's incredible.
And that's the passion side of it. That's why I keep doing what I'm doing, because that was a tiny little restaurant. People didn't even know it was a restaurant. And we found out about it because through the grapevine, we heard this woman told us about it when we were filming at Chapman's Chicken. She's like, you have to go to Snow Island. I was like, excuse me. What is this? And she told us about it, did the research. The place is outstanding on paper, right? So we're like, we have to go try it. So whenever we go try a restaurant, because if it's in the area, at least we can go try it. We go in there, we try one thing. We don't promise anything. We don't say anything. We just stand in line, normal. We buy the food, and then we'll try it. And if it blows us away, we go up, introduce ourselves, tell them what we want to do, buy all the food, and then we go sit out in the car and we go eat it all. They were really cool because I walked in and she went, oh man, she knew exactly. I was like, oh no, they know who I am. I was like, oh man. And I was like, I just want one fried chicken plate. That's it. Just 2 pieces of fried chicken, mac and cheese and greens. That's it. They brought out all of the food.
I saw that.
All of the food. They were like, try it all. I bet you'll enjoy it. And I was like, okay. So then I'm trying it and I'm like, oh man. I was like, this is a sleeper. I was like, man. So it was wonderful. But they paid, actually, it's gonna blow you away how much they paid for that, for me to do that. Goose egg, that was $0. They paid nothing. There's nothing on that.
And props to you for going out again, supporting small local businesses, man. That's incredible. That means a lot to me as an entrepreneur. That you're able to do that. Because I honestly, as an entrepreneur, would feel. I mean, I wouldn't even know the gratitude that I would feel that you came out and the time out of your busy day or your schedule to come on and do that for us. That's absolutely incredible, man. So shout out to you.
Thank you.
For doing that to small businesses and helping small businesses. And you know, I can just only imagine what the owners are going through. Like, man, this guy. And then they're probably like, David, don't
yeah, no. Actually, when I did the video, the family in the back who was cooking, because it was the mom that was in the front, and she was the one taking the order. When they came out, I was like, I'm going to post this today. So y'all be ready. She was like, oh, man, I got to come in early tomorrow. I was like, that's one way to look at it. Yeah. That's one way to look at it.
She's probably Cisco right now. I know. You got to bring an 18-wheeler ASAP.
We need more chicken. You heard me, right? The elder effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. I didn't come up with that. That's actually something I guess the restaurant industry came up with, the elder effect.
Elder effect.
And my SA Express News just posted an article about it like 2 weeks ago, because I went to Chez Chicken off Pressa, and I did a story there, and that was actually what kicked off this whole fried chicken thing, because
Fried chicken month.
It's fried chicken year. Here's your fried chicken. I love fried. And you know what? I'm so sorry. I'm going to go all over the place today, and you just got to keep me on track.
Okay.
But fried chicken, I've had so much food doing this job. Fried chicken is the most universal food in the world. I've determined this. Every culture eats fried chicken. There's Korean fried chicken. There's Southern soul food fried chicken. KFC is like the #1 fast food chain for fried chicken in the world. There's KFCs everywhere. Popeyes. There's fried chicken in Canada. Mexico has fried chicken. They get the bollos de salos to throw it in the deep fryer. I'm like, pollo pepe. I don't know why they just decided to do it, but last week they started making fried chicken. They're getting their little bollos de salos and they're like, throw it in the fryer.
The other effect. That's what Elder says, what they're going to do. So I guess you could just say, hey, let's do like something crazy. Like, let's do like deep fried strawberries and just throw it with bananas. I don't know. It's just.
You know what? I don't think that would work, but I'm willing to try it. You know what I mean? But so sidebar, everybody loves fried chicken. I think that's why these videos resonate with so many viewers. Everybody eats fried chicken. Everybody loves fried chicken. It's just so good. Chicken is like, you look at that list of what proteins are ate the most throughout the world. Like, actually, beef's pretty low. It's not the highest, right? Because India is not eating beef because the cows are sacred.
Pork.
And then pork, no, because Middle East, a lot of Jewish and Middle Eastern communities, pork is not. So pork and beef for us in the United States, sure, that's a big part of what we do.
Right.
Then you go through all these different kinds of meats and things like that, seafood and all this other stuff. Chicken's #1 by far. It's like you can add up all the other protein numbers and chicken still beats it. Everybody loves chicken. Poor chickens. Man, they got it bad.
And then their eggs are expensive. That's the reason why eggs are expensive. Hey, we're studying chickens.
It's not worth it. Video on it. If there was more chickens, we have to eat it. Man, that's what it was. Fried chickens make it expensive. We solved it. But here, we're done. We don't have problems. So we're doing these videos, but Maya Safe posted an article about the elder effect because then there was this huge line down the street in Off Crescent. And it was funny. I saw that and I was like, I don't think it's ever been written anywhere. Now, I've heard it from other restaurants. I've heard people say that, but I've never actually seen it in writing. And that was cool. And now I see it as I've been doing more of these. Everybody's like, oh, the elder. And it's fun that there's a name to what I do. It's also the businesses.
And that's fun. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So can you share a behind the scenes story that totally caught you off guard?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good
I'm going to tell you. You know what? One of the biggest misconceptions of what I do is people believe I like everything. That is a huge misconception. I only post and publish what I like.
Yeah.
Because I was raised right. And I always follow the golden rule of treat others how you want to be treated and talk about others how you want to be talked about. And I know I actually started the whole thing and you had said food critic, right? And you know what? I don't think I'm a food critic.
Okay.
You know what?
Sorry, I didn't mean to call him a food critic.
And it's really disrespectful. No. But I always classify what I do as a food hype man.
He's a food hype man.
Yeah. Because a food critic would mean that you are telling people this place is terrible or this place is great. And I don't believe in the first part of that because who am I to go to these businesses that have invested their livelihoods? I mean, you see people... Dude, I could read you a sob story email from these restaurants that reach out that are struggling. Please help us. Please help us. But I'm going to tell you, it might sound cold, but it's the truth. If you're struggling, you're a restaurant, you don't know what to do, 90% of the time, it's the food. 90% of the time. 10% of the time, sometimes it's just bad marketing, you know? And then you go there, the food's amazing, they just needed a little help. 90% of the time, it's the food. So. Because if you have great, wonderful, look at Snow Island. This is a 0.5 star building serving 5-star food. And now look at it. This place is sold out, jam-packed down the street. All they needed was a little marketing push. But the food was amazing. That is like one of those kind of little hidden gems that you don't find, right? All the time. But it's hard to balance that out. And so as a food hype man, you only share the positive stuff. We have come across so much nasty food on this show, let me tell you. People always want to know, oh, you like everything. I'm like, no. We have had terrible food. But you got to smile and you stop recording. And then you look at the owner and you say, let's talk about it. And you try to be constructive. Because that's what I want my legacy. When I am done with whatever this is and this journey that I'm on, I want people to look back at the legacy that is what has been created here and be like, you know what? He really tried to make the community better. I don't want to be like, that guy was a jerk. He was just shutting down restaurants everywhere. I don't want that to be my legacy. If that's what you want, go be a food critic and go tear down people's lives. Go there. It's fun. But,
Hype man.
yeah, food hype man. And so if it's bad, if it's not good, if it's gross, we inform the owner or the chef or whoever that we are not going to be moving forward with publishing. We give them a couple critiques, constructive criticism, and it's up to them to follow through with whatever we said. You won't believe, some people are blown away because they truly just believe too that I just like everything, right? So they're just kind of like, oh, what? This guy told me it's not good? Whatever, right? So it's like, okay. But it's all off camera because that's not how I'm trying to create entertainment. Sure. But I'd say one of the moments that caught me off guard, I won't drop any names of the business because they don't even exist anymore. We went to go do a shoot, and it was 2021. So it was like still like the height of pandemic, COVID craziness. Yeah. And so I had to have a mask on. I can't even go back and watch season 1 of the show because I'm wearing a can. I have an intro to the show. I'm wearing a KN95. I'm like, hey, everybody, it's Ronaldo. I'm like, why am I wearing it? I'm standing in the middle of the street. Like, why am I wearing it? We were all so scared. We're like, I have this friend. We had no idea. But it was 2021. We went to this bar, and bars could only be open if they were serving food. Remember, that was like a big thing at the moment. So they had to have food. Lordy. Let me tell you, those bars were struggling to come up with something, man. They were like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They didn't know what they were doing. And we went to one, and they had, there you go, fried chicken. Chicken, burgers, and like sandwiches. And so we knew something was wrong when it was taking the kitchen like way too long to be cooking this food. I was like, it's fries and chicken, baby. Like, it takes like 15 minutes in a fryer, you're done. Put some salt and pepper on it, we're good to go. And it's taking them a long time. And then the videographer, producer that was with the show came out of the kitchen. He looks at me like, And I was like, I'm not. He's shaking his head like, that ain't going to work. Oh, no. And I'm like, okay. But they set the food down in front of me, and I'm looking, I'm like, it's pretty basic. Okay. And then we go to start the interview. We're all mic'd up. Dude is sweating. He is so nervous. He's sweating. And I'm like, oh, this poor guy. And I found out why he was sweating. He didn't know if that chicken was cooked. Oh, so no. I'm going in on this chicken, and I'm like, all right, cheers to you guys. This is peanut butter. It was like peanut butter jelly chicken. And I was like, this fool literally put peanut butter and jelly on a piece of chicken. I take the bite. Blood comes squirting. Oh, no. I was like, oh, no. And so I set it down. I'm like, bro. And then we both set it down on my bed. And he's like, oh, God. He's like, oh, no. He's like wiping the sweat off his face. He's like, oh, man, I'm so sorry. And I was like, bro, are you trying to kill me? And he was like, oh, I was like, okay. Let's just go to the next side. All right. So we go to the next side, and he's like, these are boneless chicken wings. Can't mess that up. These are nuggets. You can't mess up a nugget.
No, you can't.
So we're going through it. Cheers. And then I get the little nugget. There was a huge bone in the middle of this thing. I'm like, oh, my tooth. And he was like, oh, so sorry. And I'm like, oh, this guy's never cooked a day in his life. Well, that's why he's sweating. He's probably like, he's probably somebody's nephew or somebody that was like, yeah, I know how to cook. He did not. Dang it. So we're going through it. I refuse to eat the burger because I don't know what kind of surprise is waiting for me in that one. And so
that's great.
I was like, you know what? I appreciate your time. And I feel so bad because there was like a guy in the background. And talking about hype, man, this guy was taking pictures of me eating the food. He was taking videos of me. And I was like, is he going to edit me barfing, like spitting this stuff up? And then they like tagged me on social media. Like, we're going to be on Texas Eats. And no, you're not. And so we went outside. I said, hey, come out outside with me. The videographer. And I was like, hey, man, just point the camera at me and act like you're filming. We're not doing this.
The red light's not on.
Yeah. We're not doing that. And then so we had to go back in and tell them, hey, guys, you know what? I don't think this is going to work. I don't. And they were so offended. They were like, no, you know what you're talking about. This food's good. And I was like, okay. Left. They closed in like 3 months. But That's one example.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them. In the beginning, especially when we were really trying to fine tune the research of how we researched, where we got our sources from, where we got our information from. And that was a big thing with how we developed what we do now and how we research now. Because in the beginning, it was like, so-and-so said this place was good. I'm like, all right, let's trust them.
Yeah.
And we would go there and then we'd bring the full camera equipment gear. We'd bring all the lights and all the equipment we'd set up, and then that would happen. And we were like, oh, this was a mistake. And so we found out how to not waste our time. But we actually have a folder on the computer called Unused Restaurants.
Okay.
And if I ever go off the deep end, you guys ever see me like just, crash out? And I just published a show on TV called Unused Restaurants, Texas Eats Edition. You know that it's the end of what I'm doing. It is all the worst restaurants that we have visited that never made it on TV.
I knew exactly to fill that list.
Yeah, everybody wants that list. I will tell you, about 60%, if not 70% of that, on that list, those restaurants closed within like 2-3 months after filming.
Okay.
Because they weren't going to survive. Like, the food was horrible.
You got a good ratio on you there, man. You know that, hey, this...
It's a sixth sense now. And actually, you know what? The videographer that's with me right now, he kind of looks at me. He's like, man, you kind of gave me that look. But shout out David Hinojosa. You're a real one, man. You're a super cool guy. But we'll go into a place. I can look around instantly. Just walking in, I can tell you if a place is going to be successful, if it's not doing well, or if it has the potential to blow up. Just by... Oh, I'm overbreaking. Just by looking at the establishment, I can tell you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And you know what? My instincts, I'm like, I was batting 1,000 right now on that one, because I could tell instantly, especially when you talk to the people, when you see everything, everything just aligns. You could just go like, because I've been to Michelin-starred restaurants now in Texas, been to James Beard, award-winning chefs, like restaurants, their establishments, and you see what greatness looks like. You taste greatness. You've experienced that moment. And you also go to these hidden gems where it's the same feeling, that buzz you get when you are in the presence of greatness, of food and people and stories. And then you go a place and it's like crickets, and you're like, this isn't going to be good. And you can help people as much as you can, direct them, guide them in the right path, but it's up to them. You lead a horse to water kind of thing.
Exactly.
Go drink that water,
So we're going to talk some food talk real quick, right?
Talk.
So these are fun questions that, that can say punchy, but you also have, why follow-ups, right? So we put a little list together, all right? And we're going to go off quick on them. You're just going to go off your instinct because that's what you do, right? Okay. Sorry, I think let's get a little rough on you there.
It's like ASMR now. I'm going to drink some water. I'll put that good ice in there.
Yeah, sorry. That's like this. It's got flavor in it. So, all right. So, people want to know, San Antonio tacos, Austin tacos.
Oh, it's not a debate. San Antonio all day.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So, 2M barbecue, our City Market Barbecue. Have you been to that place?
Uh-huh.
All right. If you were to pick between the two, which one do you take?
I take 2M.
2M. All right. What stands out the best out of those two?
I'm huge on the story, and I know that, both of them have great stories, but for me is that Oaxaca cheese serrano pork sausage. You can't find that anywhere else. That thing is golden.
I love 2M too. That's favorite dessert in San Antonio?
You know what just came straight to my brain right now was Leica cheesecakes. I think those are some of the best one-biters that you're going to get in the city.
I'm going to go there. I'm already getting hungry. This is not good.
Yeah.
Most underrated food spot in San Antonio.
You know what? I mean, Snow Island right now, bro. I just found it. I just found it.
We're all going to Snow Island after this.
That's right. Yeah. I'm telling you, don't judge a book by its covers, especially when that cover's been sitting in a library since like the 60s and it's kind of beat up. Don't worry about it.
That smell. Out of all the places you filmed, what's one meal that has the lasting impression on you, and why?
You know what? Lasting impression. One meal, one biter kind of deal. Experience-wise, I would have to say it was a restaurant. It was High King Harbor in Bel Air in Houston. Chinatown, because I got to go in the back and pick out my own gigantic king crab. People alive back there looking at me like, just snapping and stuff. Huge aquariums like the size of this table. So they, they're nice to them before they die. And that was, what an experience. And then a gigantic, like 10-pound Maine or 7-pound Maine lobster, just a giant lobster. And you get to go out front, take pictures with them before they go cook them. It's real jacked up. But yeah, like if I could snap my fingers and take somebody to have an experience right now,
Nice.
I would take you there.
Cool.
Yeah.
If someone wanted the ultimate food tour of San Antonio, what 5 stops would be non-negotiable?
Negotiable. 5 stops.
5. You got 5.
Con huevos tacos.
All right.
I feel like I need like the
list.
I need like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music playing right now.
We'll put that in there. Don't worry. Nate is good at that.
Okay, yeah. Con huevos tacos instantly because it gives you a good vibe of the city. I would say Colum's Atta Girl. That's, gosh, their food is incredible. He's awesome. It's a funny name, but I love ramen. Suck it.
Suck it.
Yeah. East Side, downtown. You got to get the vibes over there. Kind of keeping you in the same pocket. I want to get people a different vibe. Al Carbon Pollos Asados off of Culebra Road and I-10 right there. What a vibe. So good.
Yeah.
Amazing food.
Probably smoking when he
San Antonio's a chicken town.
Yeah, it is.
They don't know it yet. We think that San Antonio's breakfast tacos. San Antonio's a chicken town. All right. And just off the top of my head for what we're doing right now, I'm going to throw Snow Island just because I feel like the east side of San Antonio soul food is it is a gem, and it is underappreciated of what we have in the city, and it's not talked about enough. When people talk about San Antonio, the food on the east side needs to be talked about more.
Awesome. So, top 5 burger spots. I know it's going to be tough.
Top 5 burger spots. Mark's Outing, another east side spot. Wonderful burger.
It could be fast food.
Bandit Barbecue. Their smash burger is incredible. I'm going to throw out, it has to be the North St. Mary's location of Burger Boy.
Ooh, the original grease from
Give
Give
it a greasy.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't want none of that new stuff.
No.
I want that old.
That's right.
I want that drip from the ceiling on my cheese. What else? It's 3. I need 2 more. Dos más.
That's hard, right?
¿Por qué no los dos?
Burger, what's up with that? No?
Burger Teca. You know what? I love Johnny Hernandez, but I would not necessarily. I don't crave that kind of burger.
Got it.
I think they're great burgers. I don't crave them. Craveable. Oof. Last Place Burger. God, it's a good bite. San Antonio Burger. I'm gonna have to go thinking big. I want big.
Like Chris Madrid's big?
You know what? It's a good point to bring up Chris Madrid's. My brain doesn't go to Chris Madrid's only because of a lot, and I've had it. You know what? I think Diana's burgers.
That's the one I was thinking about.
Yeah, because if you want the original flavor, you got to go to Diana.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not like you. I'm not a hype man, so sorry. So, you love coffee?
You know what? I enjoy caffeine.
I know you. So, what are the top 5 coffee spots? Hidden gems in San Antonio.
Oh,
Like, but I'm here to tell you.
have you ever
like
Starbucks? I don't know. You know what? I don't really. I'm going to say this. I enjoy coffee. I am not in the pursuit of coffee shops.
Got it.
That's not what I do. I'm going to be real right now. So I'm looking for that plug. If you ever need a pick-me-up and not to let you down, put Celsius in your hand. Turn your frown upside down.
Have you
do that?
That was free, Celsius. So, my wife is really gonna. No, you just made it worse for my wife because we got a fridge in the garage. She stocks that stuff.
Woo.
Now it's gonna be even more stocked than the original fridge. That's great.
I'll have some later then, right? I'm gonna be ice cold.
There you go. There's plenty there.
Yeah, but you know what? I used to drink like Local's always good. What's Brewing is a great spot. But I'm just that's not my vibe. It's not really what I haven't done enough research in that space to be informed. But I would definitely, if I had to, I'd be like, I'm cool. What's brewing?
Yeah. All right. When someone asks me what Mexican food restaurants to try, I never know what to say. So I'm like, because there's so many Mexican restaurants. We're in San Antonio. But if you're going to say it for me, what are your top Mexican restaurants in San Antonio? Doesn't have to be a minimum or maximum.
I'm going to go on the record with this. There's not a lot of Mexican restaurants in San Antonio. There's a lot of Tex-Mex restaurants in San Antonio. There's not a lot of Mexican restaurants. So I want to go on the record. I think Quiche is a great restaurant. And they do a lot of real traditional interior Mexican cuisine. Great spot. Rojo Pork and Bread. Wonderful spot. And they're doing the torta ahogada. And that's a traditional item. That is real Mexican food. I think they're not open anymore, but Carnitas Lonja. Man, that was a killer restaurant. I wish it was still here. But those carnitas are the Michoacan style carnitas. That's real Mexican food. Now we have Carnitas Don Raul, which I think if you want to experience, I think that's a great spot as well. And I know people are going to hate on it. I don't care. Taquitos West Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get those street tacos. That's
1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock. Yeah, shutting the club down. Or for us, it's like 10 o'clock. But, on the way home, that's the spot.
Yeah, even that little food truck, Hochos Don Gente, and they do the street dogs, hot dogs. And those are like actual like Sonora style hot dogs. And they do it big, man. They do a really good job. And I know there's a lot of places like was it Guajillos, a shortcut to Mexico.
Yeah.
That do but they always have, if you got yellow cheese on the menu,
That's right.
it's okay. It's not bad. But it's Tex-Mex. And that's okay.
That government cheese, boy.
Half the best. Man, you get me on that Tommy's. I love Tommy's, boy.
What do you start? You do a food run, Nathan. Go get some Tommy's. So, that's awesome. So, okay, dream guest to eat with. Who would be your dream guest to eat with? I heard Tom Cruise was in town yesterday.
Oh, man, that would be a strange dude to eat with, man.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I would love to eat with him. Could he just sit down and eat something?
Probably not.
Yeah, I just feel like he's real jumpy.
Yeah,
I just feel like he's kind of... It always seems like he's on a mission. Hey,
That's too.
man.
You're a roll.
Dream guest to sit down with Morgan Freeman.
Ooh.
I just want to hear him talk about food.
Yeah,
I
man.
want to be like,
He's gonna
talk about this gunsha in a Morgan Freeman voice. Oh my God. I haven't died. I'd be like, this is the coolest thing ever. I just want to hear him talk about it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Who's one famous chef that you would love to try the food with that you haven't?
You know what? Are we talking like alive or dead?
Yeah.
Anthony Bourdain, man. I want to hear him talk about food in person, real life, real talk. I want to experience that moment. I feel like that's definitely something I love watching his old stuff because he's the exact opposite of what I do. Because he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Doesn't care and just like, I'm going to be a negative Nancy.
Down. Right, man.
Yeah. He is, but he's a hype man for the real ones that he believes are like deserve it. But he is ready to tear you down too, and that's pretty cool. I like that. So, Anthony Bourdain.
Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna do David Elder now. So we're gonna step away from food for just a second.
Okay.
I'm starving. My stomach's growling. Probably can hear it through the mic, but it's all good.
I tell you some sound effects.
So we're gonna ask you some quick questions. We're gonna shoot them all right. So birds up or hook 'em?
Birds up.
Sorry, Nathan. Are you still a loyal California sports fan, by the way?
You know what? When it comes to rooting for certain teams, I still feel passionate, but I do believe that the community I'm in is my number one. So, go Spurs, go.
That's what I like to hear, baby. No more Laker fans. That's great. So, all right, with me, Castle. Who's your favorite Spurs player, by the way?
You know what?
All
Current? All time?
All time. Well, we already know all time, right? It's got to be.
Dude, you know what? Man. I mean, Robinson is just he's a great dude. Never had that drama.
No.
And he also just embodies kind of that American dream too. I mean, he's military, played on the Olympics.
The Admiral.
Man, he got an NBA championship. Like, he's kind of the dude,
Yeah.
you know? And
It's fitting.
oh my, in the 90s, dude, I mean, that was when like, Karl Malone
Yeah.
and like they were just jacked.
Yeah. Natural Jack.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Mark McGuire, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all in the 90s.
Yeah.
But they were just like a different breed. You don't see that physique style anymore. And that was like the 90s basketball is what I grew up watching, of course. And so Spurs wise, I'm going to have to go Avery Johnson. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, shout out Avery. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm going to have to stick with David Robinson.
Cool. So you were born in Japan. Have you been back?
Never been back.
Okay.
It's my home life.
After so Mr. Miyagi. A little Burby told me that you like karaoke.
I do like karaoke.
So I'm gonna start a song, okay, and you're gonna continue and repeat the lyrics. Are you ready?
I'm not ready.
Yeah, you are. You ready? Yeah, here we go. I guarantee you're gonna know the lyrics. Okay, here we go. I know you wanna leave, man, but I refuse to let you go. 'Cause if I had to beg or plead for your sympathy, I don't mind, 'cause you mean that much to me. Girl, ain't you proud of me? Sign 'em up. That's the guy. It's the guy who's started hitting it. I'll do it, man.
There's tequila in this, right?
At least you got a second gig coming up. That's awesome.
Yeah. Have you ever needed to
Maybe later. What kind of game show would you like to host? I know, like Jeopardy, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Wheel of Fortune. All day, dude. Wheel of Fortune. Pat Sajak, he makes it look like he's doing a job. That dude's been coasting for decades.
That's awesome, right?
All he does is just like passive aggressively talk trash to all the contestants up there. And then he's just like, oh, so close. You were nowhere near that. I'm going to solve it, Pat. And he's like, and they're like, the dog ran down the street. He was like, ooh, the dog runs down the street.
Yeah,
so close.
Yeah, you're off.
Yeah. He just, man, coasting. I'd love that gig.
Cool. So we're going to get to another segment here. It's called Advice and Audience Questions. So we did ask the audience, hey, that, David Elder's going to be here today. So from Joe in San Antonio, we see that you eat quite a bit on your show. So how do you stay fit?
I fit that food in my mouth. No, you know what? So I started the show in January of 2020. I did do food stuff before, of course, but I started in January 2020. From January 2020 to October 2022, I gained 70 pounds doing the show.
Found it.
And I gained 70 pounds. And since then, I've lost 100 pounds. So it took me 2.5 years to gain the weight. It took me 2.5 years to lose the weight. And so I would say the biggest thing is moderation. We're staring at a delicious concha. We're staring at, you have the empanada in front of us. And I'm not going to even eat any more of that. Yeah. I'm done. Yeah. I took a bite, did my thing. And, I would sit there and eat a lot of food. And now I don't do that. And that's really helped me. Exercise, moderation. And I can't think of what other thing has helped me. Oh, was it Celsius?
No. That's great.
No, actually, intermittent fasting, replacing breakfast and lunch with black coffee or caffeine has been really effective for me as well.
Cool. What are your thoughts on Freddy's and who has the best smash burger? Because I think you answered that earlier, but
Freddy's, like the fast food.
Yeah, Freddy's.
Why?
Because he worked
talking about this.
Because he worked there.
Because he worked there. You know what? I'm gonna go on. I love fast food. I'm not a hater on the fast food scene. I think there's great fast food. Freddy's does a solid job with a smash burger, but I think their custard's better than their burgers.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. So Margie in Balcony Heights, I know the shows are probably pre-recorded, but what is the experience like when you go into a restaurant and if you like the food? So, I mean, you explained that earlier, but yeah. I mean, just to recap that.
You know what? Let's get back into it. If you don't like the food, so there's two avenues to this, because the show is 95% unpaid promotion for restaurants. We got to pay the bills. There's 5% of this show that is sales based, and restaurants do reach out and they want to have a space on the show. They want to pay for it. We clearly market as per FCC guidelines, regulations. We're a publicly traded company. We're not getting sued. That what you were about to watch is sponsored by a restaurant. So it's not like we're trying to trick you. There's no, everybody thinks it's like a trick. I'm like, who wins in this trickery? I don't know. I don't know. So you know when you're watching it, it's a commercial for a business. So if we go to a place, we have to vet through the sales department that at least the business has a good rating. What is a good rating? That's at least a 4 out of 5 across all rating platforms, TripAdvisor, Facebook, Google, Yelp, and we make sure that they are solid. And then we go. Now, if they provide us with the bad item, we work with them in the moment to say, this isn't going to look good for you and it's not going to look good for us. What else do you have on the menu? We work. And they usually trust us enough to, like, we can manipulate items or create things. Sea Island Shrimp House, they're a good partner with us. They pay to be on the show, right? And I created for them a sea monster sandwich. This was not on their menu. I do this a lot, actually. I've created a lot of things in the city that I hope have helped restaurants. This is something that actually has done really well for them, which is really cool. So if I see something like it looks normal, it looks fine, but it's just not going to blow up, I help change that, manipulate the item, and create something crazy. If we don't like the item, and it's not a sales segment, we still try to help them, but we can also be like, that's not good. What else you got? Now, if all the food's bad, we just leave the restaurant, and that's how that goes.
Awesome. So for Melissa in San Antonio wants to know, what's the best place for chicken tenders? I mean, like fried chicken, but let's talk chicken tenders.
Ooh, the tendies. Give me the tendies. All right. You know what? So I'm going to have to consult my chicken tender connoisseur is my son, Bo.
Okay.
And, he's always like, he's always smacking lips whenever he's eating these things. And I would have to say Stoneworks is actually his favorite place for a chicken tender. And he's a big fan of their place. So whenever he's talking about a 5-star gourmet going out experience for the family, he's like, ooh, we should go to Stoneworks. I'm like, ooh, okay.
So better than Raising Cane's.
That's, and so that's like his pinnacle of chicken tender is Stoneworks. So we'll go somewhere else. He's like, almost Stoneworks.
Almost.
Ooh,
Wow.
So he is the professional in my life for that. So I'm gonna say Stoneworks. Okay, cool.
So Jay from San Antonio, is there a secret menu item that you can tell us about that we need to check out?
Secret menu. Where?
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of secret menu. I mean, let's see. P. Terry's. If you go to P. Terry's, they got the P. Scary.
P. Scary.
Have you had that P. Scary?
Never had it.
Go get it. It's terrifying. And it's a gigantic burger that's not on the menu. They'll make it for you. Just go to the drive-thru and be like, I want the P. Scary. You'll hear them shudder in the back. And then they'll make it for you. That's a good one. That's an off-menu item that we can enjoy in Texas. And you know what? I got a couple menu hacks that I really enjoy doing with Taco Bell. Is it, I don't know if it's faux pas to speak of Taco Bell, but, dude, if you give their quesadilla, you tell them, don't cut it. They already know you're next level professional, okay? When you're in the drive-thru, it's like, I'm going to get the chicken quesadilla, don't cut it. They're going to go, ooh, what are you doing with that? Why are we cutting it? And then you're going to get now, but it's not in season right now, all right? But the volcano burrito, they call it volcano for a reason, and we all know why.
That's right.
That's right. You get the chicken quesadilla, you open it like a little present, right? And then you got the big circle. It's like a 12-inch tortilla, and it's got all the cheese and chicken, uncut. And then you open up the volcano burrito, right? And you flip that bad boy, one or the other on top of each other, okay? I've also seen, because I've shared this before, and I've seen people just get the burrito and stick it inside the quesadilla fully intact, whatever you want. I like to open them. I want them to know each other. You got to marry, you got to talk to each other. And then you re-roll it yourself, and you got the ultimate, like, chicken volcano quesarito thing that you've ever had in your life.
That's interesting.
And yeah, that's a menu hack for you right there. You didn't know you needed it in your life. And then just covered in Diablo sauce, and then I hope you have a great day after that.
I'm sure we are. At least 30 minutes. So for me, I love steak. Right? I love steak. I'm just steak and taters all day long. Best steak in San Antonio.
Not even going to think about it. J Prime Steakhouse.
Ooh, I gotta go to J Prime.
J Prime. That's an experience.
Yeah.
And now, if you want like unlimited, like eat till you sleep steak, Chama Gouch is my jam.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you got against Brazil?
Nothing against them. I've actually I've been to Brazil. I was there when they first opened. I got to do a video with them. got over 1 million views for them. It was very good. It's a very great video that we got to partner on. But I think the way that they prepare the food at Chow Gaucho, the experience you get, the setting feels like you're in Vegas. I just really enjoy Chalma's experience better and slightly prefer the steak.
I agree. I mean, it's I love Chow Gaucho. I'm not hating on it. I love it. I love it a lot. I just wish I was closer.
Man, those seats, those chairs are sitting in Chow Gaucho. You're like, I don't know, just sink into it. You're like, oh, I'm going to be here a while. Yeah, that's an experience.
Awesome. Well, David, we really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy day and your busy schedule to be here with us. It means a lot. I know a lot of people are gonna get hungry watching this, and that's the goal, right? We want to make sure that everybody wants, because I love food. You love food. Everybody loves food. Now we all know that we love fried chicken. We're gonna be eating fried chicken after this.
We have chicken town, baby. I want the world to know it. They're like, oh, San Antonio, the chicken town.
Yeah, that's us. The fried chicken town.
Yeah, Pollos de Salas and fried chicken, baby. We got so many Pollos de Salas restaurants here. We're chicken town.
That's it, baby. We're all about the chicken. So, what's next on the horizon for any projects in the green juice setting?
Yes, I will share a project with you. It actually starts next week.
Awesome.
It's called $20 Dinners with David, and I'm doing that. And so right now in the summer, we're officially in the summer. So Texas Eats, we did our last episode of season 6, which is incredible that it's been 6 seasons of Texas Eats. We just wrapped it up last week. So now we are in the filming period for season 7, which is going to start in September, the first Saturday of September this year. And so we're going to be filming for that. But in the meantime, I have a separate project called $20 Dinners with David that is going to be airing at 6 a.m. Wednesdays on GMSA on KSAT 12, where I'm going to show everybody who wants to watch how to make a meal for a family of 4 for $20 or less.
That's easy. I can do that too. Conchitas, con papitas, con pica de gallo, picadillo. I can do it.
You're all right, sir.
Ramen noodles.
You can't even throw the egg in there.
No. That's over 20.
That's rich chickens right there. That's what I am.
But thanks again, David. Thanks for showing, again, being here with us. If you're not following him, follow him. The guy does great work. Again, you can see that his videos, his shorts, he does a phenomenal job at.
I'm actually wearing pants today.
Yeah, he is. They're blue jeans, by the way. He's not wearing his stretchy pants.
That's right.
Go check out Elder Eats, Texas Eats. David Elder on all his socials. Elder Eats on Instagram, Facebook. The links are in the description. We'll catch you next time on the Mo Money Podcast. Thanks again for being here with us. We really appreciate it. Until next time, adios.
That's the bite. Let's go. I don't know why I said that's the bite. That's the bite. I feel like I got to get down. I feel like a troll in a hat. I can eat these, right?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, good.
It's to go.
Okay, good.
All right. Goodbye, guys.